that charging wall B-roll, well, you know, it's just a charging wall, but that is what I've been working on since the beginning of this year. Before then, I was like scattering things all over my room, and in this video today, I'm going to be giving you a detailed explanation of how I built it, kind of my mindset behind it. If you're new here, my name is Paul, and I run a channel that inspires other creators that your future is whatever you make it. I do that through gear reviews and tutorials, and if this is the kind of stuff that you like, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And for more content like this, I talk about a lot of Sony cameras and gear related and probably budget filmmaking. This is like what I've been working on really hard. And you know, as a filmmaker, you start getting all these like batteries and like Sony MPVFs and various camera batteries, and it just all starts building up. I only have like 2 outlets in here, and so I was like trying to like jump between all these things and power strips, and it got really annoying. And if you're a filmmaker that struggles with the same thing, you know my hurt and my pain. So after seeing all these really cool videos on YouTube of people's charging walls, I'm like, well dang it, I'm gonna do one because that's total gangster. And I came across a guy I got to give all the credit to. This is kind of where I base mine on. I wasn't gonna do a wooden one, but then after I saw this guy's video, I was like, this is golden. This is where I'm going. His name is Kyle Watts. If you haven't checked out this guy's channel, he is like the man. He's like very similar to me. So if you like my videos and you're subscribed to my channel, you gotta hook this guy up and just add to his numbers. He's gonna pass by me one day, I know it. It's inevitable, but you know, you gotta support this guy. He's smaller than me right now at the time of filming this video, but it's not gonna last long. So go check his channel out. He's got some amazing stuff, and I'll link the video that I'm showing you down in the description below as well. This charging wall is made from a white pegboard that you can get in various sizes from Home Depot, and then I was going to like not have this like frame, but I was foolish and I got lazy and I got 2 different sized boards and put them together. And yeah, you don't do that. If you can and you want to build a bigger board, just get the big piece of pegboard and either get Home Depot to cut it down to the size that you want in the store, or just take it home on your table saw and cut it. That's probably the best option, but I made it work, and we built this frame around so you couldn't tell. Like, that's why there's like a beam across the middle. Not only does it divide my charging wall into 2 sections, I did that because that's unusable space right there. There was a beam going across the middle, and it just kind of like separates the 2 boards so you can't see. It's not all one board. It's 2 separate boards there, but that's how we did it, and it worked out great. It looks cool, but would I do it again? Probably not. I would just have it as one full piece, but it is kind of nice to have that separation there. And because of that, I had to have a beam across the middle to kind of to support those. If you did one full giant piece, you wouldn't need a support beam through the middle of the charging wall. So once again, my errors is what you can learn from. So that's why I kind of share that, but it does look cool. The other thing is like the hardware, what you're gonna get. I looked all over Amazon, I looked all over Home Depot, Lowe's, and what I end up buying is this like kit from Lowe's for the hardware, just because I found that it gave me the most bang for the buck. And the ones on Amazon were like iffy, the reviews, and I was able to touch these in person and verify that they were, you know, what I wanted. So I went ahead and just bought the big kit, and I actually spray painted the hardware the exact same color as the pegboard so that it kind of matched the whole look instead of having some chrome on there. But you know, you can do whatever you want. You can also paint it whatever color you want. So what I did is I got 2 48 by 24 inch pegboards from Home Depot, and like I said, I would just get whatever size you want and cut it. But this is what I did. I combined those 2 and I cut them down so that together it was 36 high by 32 wide. That's how big this space is, and that's how big my board is. And then I figured out the frame. I cut a 1x4. I used 1x4s, made a simple frame out of them. Obviously I had to put one piece down the middle to support the 2 boards because they're in the middle, but like I said, if I was you, just cut the size board you want. And then I just used a simple brad nail gun, nail all the sides, glued it all up on the corners just for extra support, and then nailed the pegboard onto the frame with the brad nail gun. Then once all that was done, I kind of figured out, okay, well, to make this look a little more aesthetically pleasing, I actually chopped down board. I had some leftover shiplap panels, and I just kind of cut my own frame for it out of that wood, but you can just go to the baseboard section and just find some trim pieces that you want your size if you like the way this looks, and just, you know, cut your trim pieces and nail those onto the corners just to make it look a little more pretty if you want it to look like I did. But if you don't care about that, then move on to the next step, save some time and money. So once I got all the framework together, I laid everything out, laid the board out, put all my hooks on, figured out exactly where I want all my lights to go, and once it looked right and it was perfect, then I took a Sharpie and marked in the middle between the holes where I wanted to drill my hole. I think I did a 1/2 inch hole, and I did that because it's pretty much a perfect hole in between the pegboard holes. If I ever change the design around a little bit and I don't utilize the big holes, I didn't want to ruin the pegboard holes. Like, I want to leave the pegboard holes intact so I can move around and change things up over time and over the future as I get different electronics and stuff. Once I had all the holes for the power plugs, I, you know, typically try to string through like 4 plugs. I found that if you get 4 or 5, that's probably about the max you want to pull through, and that's using the, I think I did a 1/2 inch hole. And that worked out great. So once I got all that done, the layout's done, the holes were all done, then I went to my painting and I decided to go with a hammered black Rust-Oleum spray paint. One, spray paint is so much easier than rolling it. I like the look of the hammered look. It kind of takes out the blemishes. You kind of don't notice some of the nails, and it gives it like a metallic-ish look. I got the satin because I just prefer a satin versus a gloss look. I loved it. I think it turned out awesome. It looked sweet. And I also took Kyle Watt's design to the next level and added 2 things. I added a smart plug so I can turn it on and off with my smart assistant, and I added the RGB lights on the inside so it kind of like glows a little green through the holes. It's a little bit harder to see on video, but it looks really cool in person, man. And you can change it to whatever color you want. I just have it green because I think green's the best color in the world. So I ran those lights in there, and then I found this power strip on Amazon. Now, it was really hard to try to find out what power strip was going to be the best for this situation, because you want as many plugs as possible, but you also want a lot of USB ports as possible on the power strip to, you know, maximize that power. And I wanted one that was a surge protector, so I found this one, had a decent layout of the plugs, just in case I needed to plug in more devices that aren't USB, or have USB adapters just to give me some more room without having to go out and go crazy, because there are a lot of plugs on this charging wall and there's still room for me to expand, and that's why I built it so big and with a little bit extra. I ran completely out of USBs on this, and I bought 2 10-port USB charging hubs, and I just kind of put one on one side and one on the other so I could, you know, divide and conquer on how long those cables are running through the back. So once you have all those run, your lights are all run, you got all those things, then you start attaching your power strips, running all the cables. It really started coming to play there, and you realize, now how did I hang this thing? Well, how would I hang it? I would typically get like a picture frame hanger and just like a bar, and then just get another bar and mount it to your wall that way. It's like a kit. I'll put the link down in the description below. How I did it is, because I put it in a closet, I have already a pole that goes across the top for hanging clothes. I pretty much just modified that. I took a small like magic arm and just kind of put it in the corner, and it's literally just keeping it from falling forward, and that's all I needed. The other piece that I just loved is the smart switch. A smart plug. You just go out and get a smart plug from anywhere, Amazon, whatever, and I can tell my smart assistant not only to turn it on, but I can set it for a timer. So say I don't want to leave my batteries running all day, I can actually turn it on and tell my smart assistant, you know, leave this so-and-so on for 4 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is, and it will run through and automatically turn off. So I can pretty much go to sleep at night, turn this thing on, and walk out of the room and wake up the next morning, and it will already be off, but everything will be charged, ready for me to use the next day. I love the smart plug, plus it's just so cool to be, yo, turn off charging wall, and just have it go boo and shut the whole thing down. It's so cool. Turn on charging wall. and that thing just goes. It's so cool. Gosh, I love my smart assistant. I could not live without her. So good. That is my charging wall. It's got a lot of great things. I did some research and found various sizes of charging cables, various sizes of plugs. This thing is awesome, and I gotta say, like, I bought as many USB-C chargers for all my batteries that I can, and I'll leave links in the description of those. If you guys have any questions at all on the build, or you're confused about something and you really want to know, just reach out to me. I love chatting with people and talking. So, and go share Kyle Watts some love. That guy's awesome. Thank you so much for inspiring me in that video, and thanks for helping me build this thing, because it is awesome. You can like the merch, like the shirt, support the channel. Thanks for staying on here this long. Do all the fun YouTube-y things down below, like, subscribe, and you know that I will see you in the future.